Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Witch's Cauldron. Today, we're gonna do something slightly different. I am not gonna give you the story of a spice or a fruit or a vegetable, and the recipe that we're gonna do today is a little bit different, and it is to trigger the ability to go back into our memory to use the resource of smell and taste to go back to the happiest part of our childhood. So, in my case, that smell and that taste is quince. And yes, I was able to get a quince. Um, and in my case, it's quince because every time my dad would come home from a business trip, he would bring me this fruit roll up made out of quince, and that meant that one of my best friends was back home. So once we find that smell and once we find that taste, we're going to perceive it either through smell or taste or both. And we're just going to go back and we're just going to smell it. We're just going to taste it. And we're just going to close our eyes and imagine ourselves that we are just a happy child, full of joy, full of love. Just feel it. Feel how you're so happy, you're laughing, and nothing else in the world really matters but what you're doing in that moment where you're smiling and you're being happy and you're playing. And once we find that laughter and once we find that joy, we're going to imagine ourselves in a playground that's full of stuff, full of toys, full of games, full of everything that you can imagine. And we're just going to start walking around. So we're walking around in this place and we're in a scavenger hunt. And this scavenger hunt is to find our favorite toy, our favorite game, or the favorite thing that we used to do as a child. And once we find it, we're going to pick it up and we're going to unwrap it. Just like when we were kids, that we would unwrap a present and we felt so happy and we had this anxiety of, oh, we're finally going to play with our favorite toy. And once we find it, we are going to look at it and we're going to remember what made us at that moment in time, what made us tickle, what made us laugh. And we're just going to play with it, feel it, hear it in our minds. And once we have found that laughter and that joy, we're going to talk to ourselves and tell us that we need to protect it and we need to keep it alive within us. So let's grab a piece of it. If it was a game, maybe it's an icon that we used to use quite often. Or if it was a card, maybe it's our favorite card. Or maybe it's bubbles, so you just grab a bubble. And what we're going to do is that we're going to grab this piece and we're going to fill it up with light, in a bubble of light. And we're going to imprint in that bubble of light laughter, and most of all, unconditional love. Because when we were children, we would just love. There were no attachments. There were nothing bad around it. It was just love. And once we've created that wonderful bubble around this object, we're going to grab this bubble and we're going to put it inside our heart. And we're going to permit ourselves to be happy. We're going to permit ourselves to love in an unconditional way. And every single time we need to feel that joy and that happiness, we're just going to go back and know that it's there within us. And if we need a little bit of help, well, then of course we have the resource of smell and taste. And we're just going to find that smell or taste that brings us joy. And immediately our inner child is going to feel happy. So take it in, breathe in, and let this wonderful ball of light and of happiness fill our whole self. So now we have a new resource to go back to that loving and happy child that we used to play with, and to heal it little by little. And the way of healing it is by just laughing and enjoying ourselves. I know that right now a lot of us are feeling a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety because of what is around us and the circumstance that's around us. So the most important part of ourselves that we need to heal and that we need to keep and that we need to keep safe is that laughter and that joy and that unconditional love. So remember that every single time you need that part of yourself to come out, when maybe you're feeling really, really stressed, really, really anxious, we just smell whatever brings us, tether us, and really tether us to that, grounds us to that part of ourselves. So that way we can find our inner happiness wherever we go or whenever we need it. I hope this video is helpful. If it is, please feel free to share and to like and to subscribe to this YouTube video channel. I will keep on posting some recipes and some ideas whether to heal our inner soul. And thank you for watching. See you next time.